Hey guys, Wild Willie here, and I just really want to hash on something I did in an earlier video. Now, a couple weeks ago, we had a very localized power outage here. It was on a weekend, Saturday night around 7, 8 o'clock, just getting dark. And when you look out your window, what do you see? You see people hopping in their cars, going for a drive, walking up and down the street with flashlights, standing on their front porch with lanterns, talking to the neighbors. Now, it wasn't weather related, and it was nothing man-made that we knew about. They weren't doing work anywhere in the area or anything like that. The power just went out. And if that's the situation, if it's not weather related or you don't know the cause of it, the last thing you should be doing is leaving your home. Get your family inside. Get yourself inside. Lock your doors. Lock your windows. Shut your curtains. Make yourself secure. That's number one. Number two, you have an obligation to find out the scope of the outage and possibly when it'll come on and possibly what's causing it. And there's two ways, very simple ways you can do that. One, pick up your landline if it's working, pick up your cell phone, call a neighbor, a friend, whoever, family member at the other end of town. If their power's on, that's good to know. You got a place to go if you had to, and you know it's a localized outage. If it's not on, you're going to have to make the bubble bigger, whether it be calling people in next town, next city, whatever. If you can't do that, great item to have. Crank, battery operated radio. These things are phenomenal for that. Okay? Know your local radio stations. 365 degrees around you. Know direction, which they are, and how far they are away from you. So if the radio station that's 30 kilometers south of you isn't on air, and the radio station that's, 25 kilometers east of you isn't on air, but the one that's west of you is on air, that tells you the scope of the outage, which direction most of the outage is, and that you can get supplies or food, whatever, if you head west, if you ever had to. Generally, the larger the outage, the longer it takes to come on. And this will give you what you should be prepping for. Now you know you might be out of power for 2 or 3, 4 days. This will also give you emergency information off the local radio stations, the one that are on. You can find out, especially if it has NOAA built in. If there's an emergency in your state, in your province, something that's widely affected, you will know about it. Also, another key item to have are these two-way radios. They work when the power's out. They're good for security reasons, especially if you have to leave your residence and you're leaving, your family or your party, in the house. You have to leave to go down the street and help a neighbor out in a time of need or whatever. These are security. You can communicate with each other. They're also a great communication tool for talking to other neighbors, because believe me, 1 in 3 people has one of these FRS, GMRS radios kicking around in their house, and chances are they're going to have them on if the power goes out for a day or two. Anyways, I'm Wild Willie, and I'm going to get trucking. I just thought I'd kind of revent that or explain it a little bit, and things you should do and not do when the power goes out. So remember, it's not a question if the power is going to go out, it's a question of when. So always be prepared.